Wednesday, January 16th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Meteorologist Matthew East here with you. A lot to talk about. Let's get right into the radar this morning. We have some areas of light rain and some drizzle covering a good chunk of the area. Now, the rain has been very extensive in parts of the mountains and the foothills, over 2 and 3 inches. Some flooding problems in that part of the region. And look at the snow really cranking. Pennsylvania, New York, parts of Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island, right down to New York as well. And back into the Tennessee and Ohio valleys, you have rain with some ice continuing on the northern fringes of that precipitation shield. And you notice the rain extends down into parts of Louisiana and the Gulf of Mexico as well. Still a lot of winter weather products up with this system, including ice storm warnings still for North Mississippi and western parts of Tennessee, a couple spots in Kentucky, West Virginia, and westernmost Maryland as well. There's the big view. And we're going to have rain moving through our region here in the foothills and the Piedmont of North Carolina today, upstate of South Carolina too, with this area of low pressure gradually moving on in. So we focus in here on the Carolinas, a lot of clouds, some of this rain moving through, and I think all of us will see at least some rain as today unfolds, at least over the central and western parts of the Carolinas. You can see today's rain's not overly heavy, but still some rain nonetheless once you get north and west of Interstate 95 at least, and maybe further north and west in there in some instances. But then tomorrow the next system moves in, and look at the rain amounts being cranked out by the RPM modeling, and that is with our next system, and that's what we're going to focus on here for the rest of the video. So here we go in the upper levels. This is the European model, valid early this afternoon. Our low pressure in the upper levels, that closed upper air low closing off over Texas and Oklahoma. Out to 36 hours, that's around daybreak tomorrow. That's sitting over Mississippi is a pretty powerful contour, closed contour, upper air low. In fact, that is a, 1, 2, 3 closed contour, upper air low there. And then you get out to tomorrow evening. The system is weakening, but as expected, each model run, generally speaking, has kept that low pressure, that disturbance as a closed upper air low, longer and longer, and that is all the way out now to still being a closed upper air low, Georgia entering South Carolina. Okay, so what does it look like on the surface? Let's just start with, say, the European. All right, that's what it looks like on the European tomorrow evening. Let me say this, going to have a lot of rain push into the region tomorrow, and then we'll see the upper levels cooling off. Up in the upper levels, there is the European model by tomorrow evening, the freezing line up at 5,000 feet, which oftentimes is a rough estimate of a rain-snow line, has made it down to a little bit north and west of Interstate 85, and down into the upstate of South Carolina even as well. And then the 850s continue to crash from there as the precip ends. Okay, let's take a look. Let's see, what is this? This is the NAM. And this is the 6C NAM. And boy, the NAM continues to be one of the most intense models, but I'll say a lot of the models are trending that way. I just took a peek at the 6C GFS, and it is very intense with this low pressure as well. All right, so let's just step through the NAM. This is tomorrow evening on the NAM, up at 850 millibars. I-40 and north back to the mountains, you're below freezing. We go 3 hours later, and this is out to late evening tomorrow. Still a lot of precip covering a good chunk of North Carolina and northern South Carolina, and the 850 millibar temperatures have really crashed. 3 hours later, this is just after midnight, Friday morning, that the precipitation exiting to the right, but notice the 850 millibar temperatures continuing to crash as well. And finally, out of 51 hours, the precip's exited out to sea, the cold air temporarily flooding in behind it. The Canadian model. That's what its precipitation looks like tomorrow evening, and there's what it looks like at 5,000 feet. So, you know, there are some specifics in terms of some differences with the overall specifics, but, you know, the right ideas are coming into focus here. And I don't think I stuck the GFS on there, but it was the same general type of idea as well. Again, it was stronger with the 6C run. Now, that is what the HPC is thinking. That is the probabilities of at least 1 inch of snow. And obviously you get into the mountains and up into Virginia, getting close to a sure bet. You're going to get some snow on the ground. But even places like Greensboro, the Triad, that's basically a 50-60% chance of getting an inch of snow on the ground per the HPC. Now let me show you the snow charts from the various models. This was still, I believe, the 0Z run of the GFS. That's the snow it put on the ground. The European, same general idea, but heftier with the snow totals. and you may not be able to see the legend, that northern tier of counties and up into southern Virginia, that is the 3 to 6 inch territory. And again, the NAM has continued to be the most aggressive with the snow amounts. There you go. You're looking at some snow on the ground all the way down to the northern parts of South Carolina. That deeper shade of green, blue rather, that is 6 to 12 inches. Parts of Greensboro on north. Now again, that's just the NAM. That's not my forecast. What is my idea? What is my forecast? Well, let me just say here that I will make a map later on this morning, and I'll put that out. But the general idea is rain tomorrow, ending as some snow, and yes, it could be enough snow to put some snow on the ground in some spots, especially the further north you live in the region, and especially back into the mountains too. Again, we'll see. This is the cold air kind of building in as the precipitation ends type of scenario. A lot of times that it's tough to work out to get any snow on the ground around here, but with this type of deepening system, it is definitely a possibility in some spots, especially up toward I-40 and points north. The ground's very warm, and that's going to be a negative factor for accumulation possibilities, but the possibility for some snow on the ground is there. And again, I'll try to put out some type of map a little bit later on. All right, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, and God bless.